Hello everyone. In today's video, as you see by the title, I thought it would be cool to give you 15 reasons why you should be traveling solo to Mexico, specifically to Mexico's Pueblo Mágico, Tulum. Let's get into it. Tulum has a new international airport. It opened in December and it offers direct flights from the US. However, they are limited. The airport is much smaller, and I researched that transportation is going to be pretty expensive because it's not next to Tulum. You still are going to have to travel 40 to 45 minutes just to get to Tulum town. And if you're doing that by taxi, that could be 1,000 pesos. I think Audio Bus and the Colectivos are going to have lower rates too. It is an option. I think I still would want to just go from Cancun Airport and directly go to Tulum. Let me know in the comments if you've been and if you find it beneficial. Why is Tulum so expensive? Well, it is a popular tourist destination due to over-tourism. I think this is one of the most popular magical pueblos. A few years back, everybody was saying that Tulum was the hot spot, it's the place to be. And because of that, prices spiked way high. This Pueblo Mágico used to be a hidden gem where travelers, especially backpackers, would go. They loved the vibe, the feel. Now it has completely changed. Once a place has become gentrified, y'all know how that goes in the US, prices spike up, large crowds come in. That is the case. That's why they were able to even build the new Tulum International Airport. It's geared towards a certain type of Instagram traveler. You know, you're just going there for the Instagram spots, which are beautiful, by the way. And the Instagrammers, they are kind of giving you these commercials. Then you come onto YouTube and you get the full travel guide of things to do. So I do appreciate you guys coming to the channel to learn more on how to travel better. With these Instagrammable spots, the food places, the restaurants, the hotels, the activities are going to be sky high. Even more so than Cancun, I might say. Tulum is expensive, but there are ways for you to get around these prices. Is Tulum overrated? Is it played out? For me, I love all things Mexico, so I'm not necessarily going to say it is played out. There are certain areas that you can go within the town that are going to be affordable and budget friendly. Remember, this is your trip. If you want to go to Mexico, if you haven't been before, that's fine. Don't worry about what social media says. You have been working very hard. You deserve this trip. Overrated places are going to have lots of fun things to do as well. Go to Mexico. When it comes to the best times to visit Tulum, you're going to probably want to go through the months of November to April. This is during the dry season, and it's going to be the best weather. However, this does mean you're going to have larger crowds, and again, these prices are going to be highest because you are traveling during peak season. I've been to Tulum a few times. One time I went in October. The weather was very beautiful there. It was low chances of rain. So again, if you're looking into November, April, that would be the best time to go. Cash versus card, it is going to depend on the traveler. You might want to just go to your bank and get the Mexican pesos before you travel, if that makes you feel safe and secure. I will fly into Cancun, then go to Central. I go to downtown Cancun. I exchange my money at the Audio Bus station, and then I already have the Mexican pesos because I already secured my Audio Bus ticket online. Then I take the Audio Bus to Tulum, and I'm already good with my pesos. I exchange it in Mexico. As far as cash or card, Mexico accepts both. I have had no problem using the ATMs there. They are available all around the town. I don't know about the beach side. I mostly stayed in Tulum Centro, Tulum town, and yes, there were ATMs available. But let's get into the hostels. You guys know that I love to use Hostel World as a major factor in deciding of where to stay. When you are looking up these places, you want to sort them by newest because you want to see what it is like most recent. All right, if you're looking at old reviews, that doesn't really help much. Mayan Monkey, they're going to have dorms that are as low as 17 a night. They also offer privates for 110. The next one would be Che Tulum Hostel. It is similar, 16 a night, and for privates, 116. And then there is the Oryx Hostel, which is 16 a night for dorms, and their private rooms are lower at 86. I've also stayed at Hip Hip Stay. Their reviews are mixed. I don't even know if I want to recommend it. When I went a few years ago, the property was very nice. They offered filtered water. That is so important for me when you're in a hot, dry place like Tulum. Like, you need to stay hydrated because that heat, I fainted many times in my life due to heat exhaustion. And so I want to stay hydrated. The Hip Hip Stay, they offered daily fresh, purified water. I know people talk about the water in Mexico. The Hip Hip Stay, when I was there, was going through fumigation. So I was finding a lot of dead bugs in my room. And that is something that I cannot tolerate. I really start to worry that these bugs are going to crawl up in the bed. I don't want them on me. I don't want them in my space. If you look on the Google reviews, some people had pictures of that as well. So Hip Hip Stay, I mean, if you're feeling adventurous, why not? The rooms are very beautiful. I like how they are designed. There's AC in the rooms. The Wi-Fi is working, and you are in Central Tulum. But then bugs, I took the Colectivo from Playa PDC all the way to Tulum, and they literally drop you right in front of the ruins. If you go a few blocks, you will see the free hostel. This hostel is not exactly free. I maybe gave them $10 and I was able to get a really nice room. It was basic amenities. You know, I had a shower, toilet, and this was great for me just to put my things down, explore Tulum, and then head back. I've been to Tulum multiple times, so this first time I was just there as a day trip. I have Mayan Monkey, Che Tulum, Oryx Hostel, Hip Hip Stay, and then the free hostel. I also stayed at Elixir. Elixir was more like a bed and breakfast place. They had these nice little rooms. It was from booking.com. And the owner there, she is really amazing. It was in Tulum Central. It was very close to all of the food trucks. I even found a vegan one. And I just really like the vibes of that owner. If you're enjoying this video, go ahead and leave a comment below. I really want to hear from you guys. If you've been to Tulum, what was your experience like? Were you able to find budget-friendly deals? Do you think it's played out? Is it overrated? What are your thoughts? Next, we are talking about the neighborhoods in Tulum. So you have the Tulum Hotel Zone, and then you have Tulum Central, which is the main town. If you want to be by the beach, then sure, stay in the Hotel Zone. You know that the Hotel Zone is going to be the most expensive. You probably will be in a nicer accommodation for sure. This is not where I was. I stayed in the central town. It's easiest for me to get to the restaurants. Yes, there are bars. Yes, there are collectivos, which are going to make it more friendly for your wallet. Again, it depends on your personality as a traveler. Some people want to just be by the beach. They're not trying to mingle with the locals or meet tourists. And that is great, because if you're talking about self-care, how can you do that if you're in a group with people moving around? Like, this is a solo travel channel. A lot of these activities are with the mindset of you doing them solo dolo. It's heavily policed there. Right out of my Hip Hip Stay, I'm not going to say bug infested. That's what I'm thinking in my head. Right outside of there, it was the Collectivo that took me to go see the Spheric Art Center. If you're staying in the city center, it's going to make it easy for you to move around. I explored the Hotel Zone, just going up and down that beach strip just to take the Instagrammable photos and see like some of the spots. Then I always went back to Tulum Central. There's a Collectivo that goes back and forth. If you are strictly for vacation, Hotel Zone might be for you. If you want to be in the central town, then it makes sense for you to stay there, because you're going to have access to better Wi-Fi. The shopping is typically cheaper. There's going to be restaurants. And if you're staying in a hostel with a kitchen, you can save even more money by cooking your own meals. So for me, I recommend Tulum Central. When you're talking about things to do, you definitely want to visit the Mayan ruins in Tulum to learn more about the history and the culture. You're going to see the lizards moving around. The only thing is that there's no outside covering, and it is very, very hot. Like, I literally felt my skin burning. And I believe that this is the only ruins that are by the beach. So it's a beautiful backdrop if you're trying to take the photos. You can sign up for a tour. It's easy access because the Collectivo drops you off right in front of it. You can get some coconut water. There's a coconut water stand, and you just cross the street and you go right into the ruins. Bring an umbrella, sunscreen, sunglasses. You could even wear long sleeves because you're not trying to get sunburned out there. Of course, bring your own water bottle. And if not, you can always go to the Starbucks. They have a lot of restaurants over there. They're going to have a live show. I think it's a great touristy experience. Tulum has all these little Tulum signs where you could take photos. One of my favorite things that I did when I visited Tulum was go to Azulik. Now, there's different locations. One is going to be at the hotel zone where you can see the art museum, but I'm specifically talking about Sphericame. This is an art center slash hotel. The hotel is very posh and beautiful. Remember, I was staying at the Hip Hip Stay. I asked them, how do I get to Sphericame? Because I specifically wanted to go there. I had read a lot of good Instagram reviews on it. So I was just in my regular casual clothes and I took a dress to change into later because I knew this journey was going to be adventurous. She told me that I need to get the Colectivo, take it to Coba, and then from Coba, I'm going to find another transport to get to Spirit. So I get to Coba and I'm like, man, it is hot. I want to go into the store and get a nice ice cream because I love Mexican ice cream. It's so good. So I found this guy. It was kind of like, not a tuk-tuk. I know they have those in Thailand, but it was similar. And we agreed on a price. And I was like, I need to get to Spirit. Can you take me? Y'all, he had a little baby, a newborn baby in front of him. And the sides are open and I'm just like, we're about to go on this wild road with you got your baby? I don't even think the baby was strapped onto him. I don't know how he was doing this. I stepped in and I was looking like, y'all, this man had this baby in here. What is about to happen? I'm not in a nice 4x4 that some of the people are driving past me are on. It is not a smooth ride to get there. A lot of people complain about their rental cars being messed up because they're driving on these roads leading up to Azulik. But if you can withstand the rough, janky roads for about 15 minutes, but then we pull up and it is fantastic. It is like this art oasis in the jungle. I've never seen anything like it. Now, there are no fancy digital cameras allowed. And if you want to bring it, you are going to have to pay $100. Those are the rules. You only have to pay $20 US for entry. This museum is all about tranquility, calmness. I mean, the minute I walked in there, I was like, is this what heaven is like? Because it smelled so amazing. I don't know what flower that was. It was just something that alarmed my senses. And I stayed there a few hours because I was like, I love this place so much. I was sweating from that wild ride. So I went to the bathroom, changed into my dress, washed my face or whatever. I needed to cool down. There's no air in there. It was hot. I will keep saying this, y'all. It was so hot. But man, that museum, even the outside, just being out in the nature and the trees, being connected to those plants and seeing the art, it was a one-of-a-kind experience. I took lots of photos of myself. I basically had the place to myself. Like, what better activity to do? Learning to enjoy your own company, that's one of the joys of solo travel. The workers there, they were giving me information about the place. You go see I think it's 2 or 3 exhibits that they have. And it's lovely. I've never been in a museum where it just smells so delightful. And it's connected to the hotel. The hotel is very expensive. If you are eating at the hotel restaurant, I believe that your entrance fee is waived. I think it was worth all of the roads just going through, and I'm glad the baby was okay. And don't worry, it wasn't scary like, oh, I'm about to be kidnapped. That was definitely an adventure. One of the best that I've had in Tulum. I went to Tulum. My nails were not done. My hair wasn't done. Well, my hair was in an old style. I needed to take the crochet hair down, and I had brought my own crochet braids that I was going to install myself. So that's why in some of these pictures, I'm looking a little different. If I'm going to a place, I don't have to do my hair in the States or get nails done, all that. I can do it in Mexico. I didn't get my hair done in Mexico. Whoa, wait a minute. I just got a pedicure. Everything is cheaper in the town. The salon had affordable services. I tell them specifically that I do not want gel on my nails. For me, it just damages my nail bed. I was like, I just want the basic pedicure that you have with regular polish. It was right by my hostel. And I mean, I think they did a good job. It was like 12 US dollars and then you pay tip. A lot of people come to Mexico because things are cheaper there, you guys. The hygiene standards are up to par with a nail salon that I would visit in the US. My hair, I took the crochet out. I don't know, it's just slow for me to install crochets. Like I had the whole bag of hair. And this was after the bug fiasco in the Hip Hip Stay Colonial. So I had checked out and I was like, I'm not staying here. I'm not staying in a place that has bugs. And so they put me in another hotel. I was teaching class. I was trying to install the hair. This is a budget tip, y'all. Do your own hair. I'm not going to recommend wearing a wig in Tulum because it's just too hot for that. You're sweating and you have the glue melting. It's just not a good look. How did I do? I know it was looking rough. Like underneath the braid down, it started to grow out. So I'm just giving y'all the real deal. I did not have my hair done when I went to Mexico. And I tried to get it as close to the part as I could. It just depends on the trip. Like if I'm in Africa, I'm going to have them do my hair because, you know, I trust the people. I do want to talk about transportation in Tulum with the collectivos. That is going to be hands down the best way for you to save money. I'm talking about 25 pesos is going to get you one way to whatever your destination is. And once you learn how to ride those collectivos, honey, I will be all over the town. Yes, I was the only American in the collectivo at times, and I definitely was the only Black American riding the collectivo. For 25 cents, that's nothing. So they do offer transportation back and forth from Tulum Central to the hotel zone. You do have to wait for it to fill up, and sometimes if you immediately need to get somewhere, it's going to be easier, but definitely more expensive if you're taking a taxi, and that can get annoying going back and forth. Some people rent cars too. Again, it's up to you. The cheapest is the collectivo. Then the audio bus, that is going to be the one that I would definitely recommend. And then, of course, you have rental car. I haven't rented a car yet in Mexico. I hear that they will shake down like tourists for money and they'll just make up random reasons. So I was like, I don't want to have anything to do with that. I'm already traveling solo, bringing attention to myself. And this is what some of the Mexican police do. I've heard stories. If you've rented a car in Tulum, let me know your experience. And then, of course, you can just arrange a private shuttle. The choice is up to you. In addition to Tulum's international airport, the Maya train was built and it actually opened in December as well as the airport. This train has been controversial because the development of it means that you're going to have to dig underground and you're damaging the cenotes. You know, the goal for this train, Maya, was to connect the popular hotel resorts to other parts of Mexico so that tourists would boost tourism in the areas that weren't as frequently traveled. However, issues of deforestation are coming up. You have the Great Maya Aquifer, which is providing water source to hundreds of the Mexican people. When you are clearing out the land, what about the trees? What about the indigenous people whose homes were destroyed just for this train to take place? Construction has been stalled currently in Tulum. There's no train for you to get to Tulum Central from that airport. And the transport that they have is limited anyways, and it's going to be expensive. This is what happens as a result of gentrification when you have these overpopulated tourist areas like Tulum. Anything that's destroying the natural environment, when we're talking about the trees, the cenotes, especially people's homes, I feel like that is a serious issue. Next tip, the beaches in Tulum are public, but this is kind of tricky because of gentrification. You have that whole strip of hotels and resorts that charge you to enter their beach clubs to see the beach. But I'm telling you, these beaches are public, y'all. You just would have to be savvy and have the time to just walk and get through to the beaches. They say it's private beach, but the beach clubs are private and you're going to have to pay entry to access them. And I think these beach clubs make it difficult for travelers. If you have a public beach that is supposed to be accessible to all, but then you have these beach clubs, it's like, come on, guys. Y'all know what y'all are doing. So I never went to the beach in Tulum. There are, like the backpackers who will just walk up and down the coastline. So again, it depends on your travel personality. I'm not going to let nobody block my way of seeing the beach. I like the ones in Cancun better anyway. Sargassum season, depending on the time of the year that you go. When I saw my friends, when they were here for their birthday, the sargassum was highly evident. It was all around. I know some people Photoshop it out of their pics because, it does look bad. You see the workers trying to clear it. And the other time I went in October, it wasn't sargassum season, and I think it was more enjoyable. Either way, you're still visiting Mexico. Was a little seaweed gonna hurt you? With these beaches, I don't want to diminish the fact that you need to be taking care of your skin. Because of the sun's strong rays, wear sunscreen, you can wear a hat, wear lightweight clothing, sunglasses. If you're going to be going in the cenotes, you want to make sure that your sunscreen is biodegradable. You are going to have a large number of vegan restaurants in Tulum. I even found a vegan food truck in Tulum. Remember, I was staying at the Elixir. From there, you're going to be able to see where they just have all these food trucks, and that is a great eating spot. It's called La Cordobesita. There's also Lalo Tulum. At Lalo Tulum, I had a burger. There is Taboo. People like to go there. I love El Bajon just for the vegan tacos. There is a list of all of the different ones, and I have tried them all. I don't feel no shame in that. Those tacos are good. There's also Raw Love. Here you can get superfoods, kombucha, very fresh and healthy food. I just took a picture of it. I didn't eat there. Burrito Amor is popular. You can go to any local taqueria. Tropicu offers vegan tamales. That's good. Also, the fruit stands. The fruit in Tulum is lovely. You can get coconut water. There's so many places for you to eat. You want to look into the Black in Tulum Facebook group. They offer lots of events. Taboo being a spot where you can just meet up with fellow travelers. You have a list of monthly events, so you should check it out. The fruit-infused drinks, the aguas frescas, are so refreshing after a long, hot day of traveling. I really like to get the tamarind. I like getting the jamaica, the hibiscus flower floral drink. It's very delicious. And they will give you a little goblet for you to just chug down because you're just so hot. I cannot emphasize enough, man. That heat is woohoo. I get so tired after all of the sun rays. You do want to see the cenotes. Tulum is known for a lot of them. I even found one, well, not found. I was with another friend. We went to one that was owned by SDAs. I'm Seventh-day Adventist. And there is a church that I visited too, SDA church. I like visiting SDA churches and everywhere that I go. But there's also an SDA cenote, like sundown Friday, they are closed. So that's kind of amazing. The names of cenotes, I don't really have them for you in this video, but you can just Google the best cenotes and visit them. I don't really swim like that. Sometimes I'll be wearing wigs. Remember, I had just installed those crochets. I did not want them falling out. But it is fun to watch people, jump from the rope into the waters there. What about traveling to Mexico with the cartel? It's a common question. I do want to show you this meme here. Go ahead and take a look at that. If you are coming to Mexico looking to associate with them, silly games, you're going to win silly prices. Or just stay out of trouble, y'all. Like, I'm not coming for them. I'm not looking to get into drugs on this trip. I am just enjoying my company, and I am doing this as self-care. Yes, the cartel is active. Yes, it is in Mexico. Yes, they're in Tulum. They are probably everywhere. But also, you ask questions about crime or cartel in Mexico, they could ask the same of us in the US. What's up with the church shootings? What's up with the school shootings? I think we need to stop worrying about what's going on in Mexico and take an inward look within our own country. And the instances where you read of tourists being whatever by a cartel, it's a very isolated incident. I plan to see all of Mexico's Pueblo Magicos because they are just so amazing. Tulum was one of them. I'll cover another one that I went to in a future video. But don't fill your head of what the US media portrays Mexico to be. It is simply not that. I taught for many years at a school with Mexican students, Mexican families, and they were just so warm and friendly. One of them told me, Miss Jessup, you got to cover Mexico. What's up, Anna? I just love the culture there. The locals, they're very proud of their country. We need to do a better job of emphasizing what is good about the country and worry less about the cartel. Stay out of trouble. They're not going to have nothing to do with you. Period. It's that simple. For those of you who were watching, maybe let me know, did I hit the 15? I have the gift of gab on YouTube, so I will be going on and on and on. But I do think these are tips that you are going to actually use. Traveling in general is a type of self-care, you guys. It is so important for you to make time for yourself. You can do this through travel. Maybe you've never been to Mexico. This would be a great time for you to do so. You fill into other people, your family, your job, your coworkers, and sometimes your cup is going to get depleted. When that happens, you can spiral out of control, and that is never a good thing, right? So you want to take that time for yourself, even if it's just a couple days, and just getting that boost for your mental health, whether it is on a trip to Mexico or just a short trip outside of your hometown, just to break from the routine. I have not had that boost. I'm just here making these videos for y'all. So when I spiral out of control, I don't want to get into that too much. But travel is self-care. Try to be in the moment, enjoy that alone time with yourself, connect with nature. If you do not feel like meeting with the locals, you can write in a journal and just really pour into yourself, because this is the time that you have set aside so that when you get back home, you are going to be well rested and you can continue to pour into others. Yes, that is what travel is about. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. A year ago, I was doing shorts, y'all. I was afraid to talk on camera, so this is amazing. I am so glad that we are here to build this community together. I'm going to see you next week. I love y'all so much. We out.